stand at the edge of a cliff, a rope around my neck, the other end tied to a limb on that tree. Dark thoughts fill my mind, and I wonder what's come over me. How did I get myself to such a mess? What brought me to such a desperate act?
Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and asked,
"What will you give me if I deliver him over to you?"
So they counted out for him 30 pieces of silver. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand it over.
Jesus chose Judas to be one of the 12.
He became the treasurer for a band of men considered Christ's most trusted friends and companions.
He was an intimate part of a group privileged to occupy the front row seats for every miracle and teaching.
Yet Judas betrayed him.
Traitor!
Traitor! Traitor!
Traitor is an ugly name, but it fits him well.
There have been men like Judas before, and there will be again, but none will be remembered or despised as much as he.
I know now that I was a tool of Satan. He entered my heart and mind and completely controlled me. I was willing to do anything that he wanted me to. I know too that I was a pawn of the religious leaders. They searched relentlessly for an opportunity to arrest Jesus without creating a riot. And I gave them that opportunity. Look, I more than anyone else wanted to harm Jesus. Why? I only followed him because I hoped to become an important government official once our Jewish kingdom had been established. But even though everyone pressed him to become king, he refused. And besides, his compassion for sinners was beyond reason. He sat with sinners and he ate with them. And because of that, people regarded us with scorn and contempt. Yet even still, he insisted he came to save the sinners. Even when he looked at me, his eyes had only compassion. Jesus knew how selfish I was, how I picked on the others, how I always cared about myself more than others. And despite all that, he still only treated me with kindness. I was ashamed. And out of that shame came hatred.
When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12, and while they were eating, he said,
Truly, I tell you,
"One of you will betray me." They were very sad, and began to say to him, one after the other,
Surely you don't mean me, Lord.
"Not me." Jesus replied, "One who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me.
But woe to the man who betrays the Son of Man. It will be better for him if he had not been born."
Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said,
surely you don't mean me, Rabbi.
Jesus answered,
You have said so.
My anger flared. I'd hidden my hatred from him for so many months. And now, in a moment's time, he exposed it to everyone. I had already been to the chief priests with the plan to betray him. They were more than willing to accept my offer. I'm sure that Peter and John and the others didn't know about the deal I made. But Jesus did. Again, his eyes met mine as he announced my intentions. I couldn't believe that he still looked at me so kindly. Why didn't he denounce me? Why didn't he hit me? You know, that I could understand. But this unwavering love for me, that was beyond my comprehension.
Love is patient. Love is kind.
It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud.
It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs.
"Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth.
It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Protects, trusts, hopes, perseveres."
I had to get out of there. Indignantly, as if to deny my plans for betrayal, I stood to my feet and rushed out of the room. I went directly to the chief priest and said, "We must hurry. Once my treachery became known, word would spread throughout the city. We must act now, I said, and they agreed.
While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus replied, "Do what you came for, friend." Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him.
Looking back on it now, I realize how treacherous and cruel the signal was. She kissed him on the cheek, called him Rabbi. Somehow I feel that generations from now, many people will likely recoil in horror and anger at what I did. I betrayed the Lord with a kiss. So here I am, standing on the edge of this cliff. Been a coward from the start. Now I'm just trying to muster enough courage for this final act of cowardice. If I could look into his eyes once more, see the compassion, forgiveness there. But it's too late.
If
We
we
confess our sins, he is faithful and just, and will forgive us our sins, and purify us from all